If you're feeling stiff and tired, this micro workout is just for you. We're focusing on total body mobility, and all you need is your body. Come join me. Hi, my name is Lauren Eirk, and I want to welcome you to Fitness Integrated Science TV. This micro routine is all about mobility. How we're going to perform these exercises is by engaging our muscles, and you don't need any equipment except for you. Let's get started. As you begin, let's just start by bending our knees. Place your hands on the tops of your legs. Round your back and tuck under, coming into that flexed position. Then as you inhale, let's untuck and look forward. Exhale, round the back one more time, and now let's walk our hands to the floor. Walk your feet back and come into all fours. On your inhale, kick one of your legs back. As you exhale, tuck it in. One more time, inhale, kick it back, and then lower that back down. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Squeeze into the glute. Exhale, tucking under and tightening. Inhale, squeeze into the glute to hold it, and then exhale, bring it back down. Now, tucking your toes under, let's lift our knees off the ground. Push forward with the hands and shift those hips back. From here, work to extend the knees if possible. Exhale, bend those knees once again, shift your body weight forward and lower those down. Flattening through the tops of the feet, look forward, inhale, arching the back. Exhale, flexing that spine, tuck under. Once again, tuck the toes under, let's shift back into a little squat, then extend back through the knee and hold it. This time I want you to pick up one of your legs behind you. Bend your knee, draw the heel into your hip. Now I want you to make a big circle. Sweep that leg around to the side, come all the way forward into the space between your hands and hold it there. Good. As you exhale, slide back. Let's come into downward facing dog. On your inhale again, let's go ahead and lift up through the other side, squeezing into the glutes. Good. Now bending your knee, tighten through the hips. Externally rotate through the hips. Sweep that leg around, 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 and see if you can't step it right up in between your hands. Now the goal here is to stay fairly close to the ground. So let's just walk ourselves around. So we're asking quite a lot from our hips to walk over to the other side. Let's do that again, shifting that around, easy. Then as we inhale, let's walk back around once again. Notice both of my feet are slightly turned out. Then I want to pivot my body around to the opposite side, and let's come back into downward facing dog. On your exhale, bend your knees, sink down to the floor, plantar flex the ankles, and look forward. Exhale, round the back, tuck under. Let's go back into our downward dog. Pick up that forward leg, inhale, breathing, bend your knee, then take a big giant circle. If you can, step it in between your feet. Exhale, your hands rather, come back into down dog. Changing sides, inhale, lift up, bend your knee once again, externally rotate through the hip, sweep it around, and see if you can comfortably place it between your hands. Now as we step through, let's soften into the knees, shift your body weight around, hold one. Exhale, tighten, tighten, tighten into the hips, here's two. And then one more time for three, let's rotate it around. And now as we sweep through, we come all the way back into that lunge, moving into downward facing dog once again. Inhale breath, roll up onto your toes this time, sink down into your heels, hold. Then as you look to the space between your hands, step your right foot into that space. That may have given you just a little bit of a head start there. Now, as you do that, I want you to shift your body weight into that forward leg and kick up through the back thigh. So your standing leg is really working hard. Now, let's just see if we can't work on our balance now, sweeping that all the way through and move into a knee lift. Rotate that around and back down. Knee up and rotate around. Knee up, rotate around. And now, let's take a knee up, externally rotate, and place your foot somewhere on top of the thigh. From here, let's see if we can't sink down into, we call this a figure four. Good, isometrically draw that heel directly into your hip. Now as we sweep it around to the side, let's see if we can't lunge that leg back. Take your hands to the floor. Immediately start to tighten into that glute. Lower your knee down, plantar flex to the ankle. Now, if you're somebody that's had a lot of knee issues, I want you to use the floor for help. Shift back as far as you can. Work on immediately contracting your hamstrings and calves, and then work on moving your heel to your hip. Now, I'm working really hard to squeeze into the back of my knee here. Then as you inhale, we're shifting our body weight forward. Pick up your back leg now. Inhale breath, draw your heel into your hip. And I'm not grabbing onto it, it's literally just there. From there, lower your foot down. Now as we shift our body weight back onto that back leg, let's now kick up through that forward foot, tightening the front of the hip. Sweep it around and take that leg behind the body. Inhale breath, reach the opposite arm out in front of the body and hold it there. Now as we exhale, we lower that knee down to the floor. Separate your knees a little wider than your hips. Shift your body weight back into both of your knees, tightening into the backs of your thighs, and the tops of the ankles are flat. Everyone's going to have a different level of mobility here. Now shift your hips forward as we walk the hands back. Press the knees apart, lift up through your chest, come into a backward bend to hold. Lift up through your chest and sternum. Exhale, come forward. Place your hands on the ground. Dorsiflex the ankles, tucking your toes. Now, keeping those knees wide, let's walk it back. This is a tough one. Pick up your knees and then see if you can shift back into what's called a Hindi squat, bringing your hands to the insides of those legs. On your inhale, press into the ground and see if you can stand, all the way back up. Reach up through your chest, inhale breath. Now we try rolling down, which is very similar to the Pilates roll down, but I want you to keep your hips turned out a little bit. Soften your knees and see if you can come down to the floor. Now pivot your hips and feet forward. Inhale, look up. And then we walk all the way back out. And as you walk back out, I want you to lower yourself to the floor. With your arms at your sides, move into a backward bend. This is something we want to visit daily. And then exhale, back down. Tuck your toes under, push into your hands, inhale breath, shift back into your hips once again. Then from there, let's lift up into downward facing dog. Good. On your inhalation breath, let's walk up to the hands. Now from there, I want you to pick up one of your feet, squeezing into that back glute, hold it. Then bring the feet together. Switch. Take the other leg, bring it back up, hold. Now, as we come back up, let's move ourselves into standing. See if you can come into a knee lift, find your balance. Then sweep your leg into one side. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Bring it up and around and hold it. One more time, bringing it up and around to hold it and release it. Now we have our left leg. Let's pick up that leg. Externally rotate the hip, bend your knee, and then sink down into a figure four. Good. As we sink into that figure four, we shift back into our hips. Now try to stay low to the ground. I'm sweeping my leg through, lunging that leg back, taking the hands to the mat. Squeeze into your back glute, lower your knee to the floor and flatten through the forward leg, or the back leg rather, the foot. Shift your body weight back. So immediately I'm starting to tighten up behind the calf and the knee, find the balance. Exhale, rock the body weight forward, draw that heel into the hip. Now shifting back one more time, let's lift that leg up. Sweep it around to the side. We have opposite arm to leg. Exhale, lower that knee down, hands to the hips, come into that backward bend. Exhale, coming forward, tuck the toes. Shift the body weight back into our squat. Come all the way up, take a big breath in, lean the upper body back. Exhale, release. Take your hands onto the fronts of the legs now. Roll it up. Roll your shoulders into your back, and you are done. Take a deep breath in, blow it out, and release it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.